majority of the community would be so upset about that, but that would be kind of funny if you think about it. There are a lot of bugs in Marvel Strike Force since update 7.3 dropped, but there may be a good explanation for it all. I'm discussing it in this video with my brother MobileGamer. How have you been, MobileGamer?
Let's go smash it! All right,
I'm ready to smash it. Welcome to this edition of your Marvel Strike Force weekly news update. We're doing a little different thing with this intro. So how have you been? How are you enjoying Marvel Strike Force? And what is up with all of these bugs, MobileGamer?
All right, so I'm not enjoying the bugs, but I've been enjoying the game. The bugs are strange this patch, and I don't know if I have a good explanation. Maybe you have the explanation, but patch day was good. And then it's because they didn't release anything on patch day. And then they started releasing, the raid launcher. That didn't work. They released Cosmic Crucible. That's a mess. Then there was a login problems and Facebook login issues. It's been a complete disaster. This is actually, in aggregate, patch, probably one of the worst patches we've had.
For a while.
Yeah, for a while. And the Cosmic Crucible bugs to me are the worst as far as what I mean by that is that there are bugs that are undetectable or unknown in advance of them being published, and it literally requires thousands and 10,000s of users to potentially identify a bug. Some of the things that are going on with Cosmic Crucible, one person could have spent 30 seconds and identified them. And I have a problem with that because that means there was zero testing. Some things, I mean, the truth is that no game as a live service, so this is a live service game. It changes constantly, right?
Yes.
So I have never played a live service game that is bug-free. It doesn't exist. So there is an amount of acceptable bugs, but what's unacceptable to me is like some of the stuff that happened in Cosmic Crucible, specifically with Room 4 and Room 6. It's just lazy at that point.
Yeah. Now, if we look at this, since the bug arrived, this is last week's blog post, just Friday. 1 about bugs, 2 about bugs, 3 about bugs. The Symbiote's not about bugs. But Raid Auto Launcher, this is 5 blog posts since last Friday,
right? All
about bugs. And we're going to get to the bugs in Cosmic Crucible. There's a bug going on that people can't even log in because their device is not connected to the account, or there's issues with logging in Facebook and connected. And they say, we'll keep you updated for a release date of a new version. When do you think this new version is coming so people can actually play the game?
I thought it was going to be this week, but maybe not. It's Thursday, right? I mean, yesterday? Holy
This was
moly,
almost a week. This was almost a week ago they put out this blog post, Mobile.
I don't know. This stuff, like, okay, so, I mean, there is definitely a priority of bugs. Like, not being able to log into the game is probably the top of the list, right? Like, if you can't play the game, do not pass go, do not collect $200, right? It's that's got to be fixed first. So I mean, as far as I'm concerned, that needed to be fixed yesterday.
Yeah, this is the bad one. There's audio issues as well. I don't notice this. I usually don't play with the sound on, but yeah, both of these very, very bad. Also, I'm hearing that there's no chat in the game and multiple crashes. Have you experienced this with no chat and the crashes that are going on?
I don't run chat. Get out of here! I've
been keeping it off as well, just because I don't want stuff to flash during videos. That's happened early in making videos, but I don't want to.
I get trolled on Twitch and on YouTube videos if I leave my chat on, so I do not use chat. So I have no idea about chat. I've had the game crash a couple times. But fortunately for me, it was in loading screens. It wasn't an actual gameplay.
I've had a few on stream. It hasn't been good. All right. So before we get into the big one about all these Crucible bugs, if you guys haven't already subscribed, hit that subscribe button for more Marvel Strike Force content. At least 5 Marvel Strike Force videos per week. Yeah, smash it. All right, let's talk about these Crucible bugs. All right, and you talked about some of these very easy to see just by playing 1 round of Crucible. Some are a little harder to detect. Room 1, Strikers always gaining extra damage when it should only apply to their health. I'm hearing this is not even just limited to Strikers. Some characters just getting some crazy damage. Room 4, Assist not always being applied. Room 5, all mutants getting the room tags when hero mutants should be. I had a big boy Apocalypse with some unlimited X-Men in there. It was not good this morning. And special abilities costing 2 more energy when they should cost 2 less, so a difference of 4. some of these, like you said, very, very obvious. I would make an argument that room 1, room 5, and 6 are all pretty obvious, whereas only room 4 is the one that, like, oh, that might have slipped through testing. Did QA just go on vacation? Just like, update 7.3, we got it out. Vacation time, let's go.
I have no idea. Like room 1, I mean, it's obvious when you go in there and you get smashed. I mean, there was people like getting one shot by Gamora's special. The entire team gets wiped, right? So something's wrong, right? And then room 4, I think within 5 minutes of the Crucible going live, I had video footage of, the offense up being applied and nobody assisting, right? Like within, and then room 6.
Well, that's what the problem was. It took you 5 minutes. They only did 2 minutes of quality assurance testing, which is why a lot of these slipped through the cracks.
Room 6 was instant. Like the room 6 was instant. Like I had a screenshot. Like as soon as the patch, Cosmic Crucible live, I had a screenshot of Red Hulk's ult, costing 2 more. Like anybody.
That was the obvious one.
It was so obvious. And room 5. I think the community identified room 5 within an hour or two. Like that one wasn't like immediate obvious that like the villain mutants were getting the bonuses as opposed to just the hero mutants. So it was very interesting. I don't know.
There is no excuse at all for room 6. Room 6 is ridiculous. That's horrible.
Yeah, and so my thing is this: is that how many people tested it? Did anybody tested it? If somebody did tested it, do they still have a job? If they do still have a job, can I have that job? Because I want to get paid to do nothing.
Wait, I thought we're the testers and we're getting no pay to do all the testing.
The Sean Dugan, and then before him was Jason Bender. They went to Netflix, right? And they're now looking. There's a LinkedIn job description.
Oh, we're gonna be discussing that at the end of this video. I didn't want to save that for the end.
It relates to this because very clearly in the job description is holding the person accountable to test features before they go live. And now that I've seen that in print, I want direct access to whoever the next creative director is and hold them accountable for something like this that is that silly. If you go down
into this is the post right here, this one.
Yeah, go down. It's in there.
I got it highlighted right here. Give approval for completed game-related work before it goes live. So that is what I'm thinking. Maybe Sean Dugan left. They don't have anybody approve this, so they're just like, all right, let it go live. Let it go live because, they are looking for a new game director, and their job is to look for all these bugs. And we're getting all these bugs passed. We don't have a game director right now. Is that why 7.3 has so many issues, MobileGamer?
I don't know. I feel like this game has a crisis of procedural problems. Like, what is the process to approve work before it goes live? Ship it. I think that's the policy right now. There has to be some sort of procedure, right? Some sort of workflow. The deadline for the being completed needs to be today. We need to have somebody look at it on this day, somebody look at it on this day, then we approve it. It just gets pushed out because I don't know how. If it's incompetence, my goodness, like how could they not?
It has to be at this point. We've been dealing for this for years. It's been years that this has been a buggy game. All right, so they're looking for new creative director, new game director, and that may be why the bugs are going on. But as far as what we got as far as compensation, they gave a package for the Cosmic Crucible. And we'll talk about this other thing about the auto raid launcher not working. But for Cosmic Crucible not working, 3,000 Crucible credits. You could buy like one piece of gear with that, and then 1,500 Elite Crucible credits. So what a lot of the community wanted was, why is there no reset happening? Because initially, people that started to do their Crucible attacks before they knew the bugs went out, before this blog went out, they were doing their Crucible attacks, and they did not get any advantage. They may have lost week 1 or the first battle because of that. When this happened previously, they reset all the scores, so week 1 did not count. So I guess my question is, was this good compensation? And should they have reset all the scores for this week because of the bugs that were very obvious in Cosmic Crucible?
All right, it's garbage, and the compensation was garbage. Listen, everybody plays this game in different ways, and you might be watching this game. You might be watching this video right now, and you may not care about Cosmic Crucible. You may not care about Arena. You may not care about leaderboards. You may not care about the Scourge leaderboards. You may not care about Alliance War. But here's the thing: a lot of people do. Yeah. And this game has moved into a direction, and I'm gonna say it started with the Morgan Le Fay Scourge, where they made placement in leaderboards very important. And the reason why they do that is twofold. One, they want to, capitalize on our competitive abilities, and people care. People want to do better, and it also restricts the amount of inventory they give out. When you have a PvE event and it just is like this threshold wins, they can't control how many shards go out. Like, let's say for Morgan Le Fay, but by setting it up with a leaderboard, they do. And so they figured out that leaderboards are effective at monetization. They're capitalizing off of people's competitive spirit. So if that is going to be something that they're going to profit from and utilize, then they better understand the importance of competitive integrity. And this spits in the face of competitive integrity. Now, Scopely, integrity do not go in the same sentence.
Nightly Gaming would argue that.
Yeah, but here's the thing. if they're going to profit off of leaderboards and competition and placement and trying to get as high as possible in Crucible, where every little attack counts, and I win by 1 point, I lose by 3 points, and I lose my mind if I lose, well, then it's important. And it's their job to provide a competitive landscape, and this spits in the face of that.
All right, so it says right here, this week will run as is without any changes, stage rules, and the scores won't be adjusted. Why do you think they're not adjusting this as compared to last time that we had a score start? It was a lot of bugs, and they said, oh, it's not going to count. Now, there's a lot of bugs again, very obvious bugs.
Listen, I don't think they understand how competitive the community is or how much the community cares about things like this. Like, I'm sure they're incentivized to play the game, but they begrudgingly probably don't want to play the game, the employees there. I get the feeling that none of the employees, very few of the employees played the game before working there. I know there are some people that worked there that, played the game before they started working there. And then there's a lot of them, I'm going to guess, the day that they quit working for Scopely will never play the game. And they don't play the game that you and I play. I mean, they don't
blitz 8 rotations a day?
Well, here, listen, they're probably gifted, let's say, like some sort of employee currency, like $1,000 a month. Yeah. They don't even care about anything. They just push buttons. They got to keep their job, and so they pretend to play the game a little bit so that they feel like they understand they don't play the game that we play. And this whole competitive aspect to the game, they absolutely want to profit off of it, but they don't understand how important it is to the community and how unacceptable not adjusting the scores is. I don't care how difficult or expensive or resources, it doesn't matter. If they're going to profit off of this game using leaderboards and some sort of competitive aspect, then it's their job absolutely to provide some sort of competitive integrity. I think this is trash.
What you're saying is they want all the profits, all the benefits from having competitive integrity in the game, but not having to do any of the work, any of the responsibility of actually maintaining the competitive integrity.
Correct.
All right, that sucks. Hopefully that's something that changes, and hopefully that's something that we can urge them to change by complaining enough. Other thing that did not work this week was the Raid Auto Launcher. It has been disabled. That was something that we also got compensation for. Now, did you and your alliance start to use this, and were you out a lot of raid keys? Because I know some people ran out of raid keys because it was auto launching weird raids, and it did get disabled. But did you guys actually use this at some point?
No, I wasn't personally affected by this, but again, this is another garbage answer. Alliance placement in the 2-week raid, is a ranking system, right? It's a leaderboard system again, and it is very important. And there are many alliances that are going to be losing rewards in that 2-week leaderboard, right? You can't have both. If you're going to, profit off of leaderboards and getting us to be competitive, I mean, in the last 2 hours of this raid season, our alliance is coring raids to place into the top 10.
Ooh.
So if they're going to profit off of our competitive spirit, then they have to provide some sort of competitive landscape with some sort of integrity. This solution is garbage, absolute garbage.
Yeah, they need to act more proactively. They seemed like they were doing pretty good in update 7.2, and then 7.3 dropped, and it was like, no QA, no customer servers, no responses, not getting a lot of stuff. It's just tough. Now, the other thing I did want to mention, Mobile, is they said that they were going to have these incursion raids getting easier. If we look at this blog post here, it says skill node 1 will be rebalanced so players will find raid sim success. Now, in my personal experience, I know there's a very limited sample size. I've tried to sim these skill nodes all the time. Does not work. I tried it since the update. I used to finish it with the full sim about 90% of the time. I have not simmed it once since this update dropped. And now I could go in reliably, hit auto, and it beats it, which should be what a sim does. Have you experienced this? Have you tried these nodes? Is it working for you, or is it just me that's having a much more difficult time with these raid sims than before when it was supposed to be easier? Like I said, the success rate will improve, but I've dropped from like 80% success rate to a 0% success rate.
All right. So first of all, I play difficulty 5, right? So that's a different animal. The difficulty from 3 to 4 to 5, it jumps up pretty steep each one, right? It's not the same. Even the difference between 4 and 5 is pretty high. Skill node. I'm just talking
about before the update and since the update, though.
Yes. Okay. So there was. I'll give you my experience before and after. Before. Okay. There was actually a high degree of risk of simming raids node, the first and the second node, right?
Okay.
Because if your team dies, then what? You can't go on to node. You can't go on to node 2. You can't go into 3. You got to spend 250 cores. That's a waste, right? It just wasn't worth it. Now the boss node timed out, and so you would have to spend 50 cores no matter what. Does that make sense? Like you would just, or you'd have to hit the node twice. So you'd have to 2-tap the node. And so I've never really simmed the first node. I did it once and it failed, right?
Okay.
As far as node 3, I was able to sim it before with maybe like a 60% success rate. And I'm finding that number is similar right now. And which I'm okay with doing that, because simming, let's say it sims successfully like 60 to 70% of the time, the boss node, right? Where I would have had to 2-tap it anyways. And if my lane mate is going to come behind and finish it anyways, what does it matter, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So I don't feel like this made any difference whatsoever.
It's gotten a lot harder for me now. That may be something in 1.3. I'm not in 1.5 yet, so maybe there's that. But I've had a 0% success rate since it's dropped, and it was probably 80, 90%. Before that, probably closer than 80, but it's been 0 since then in the sim rate. So I don't know if this is a bug. I don't know if this is more non-testing, but this is something, at least my experience, has been dramatically down since since they've rebalanced this. So
yeah, the only node that I'm willing to sim is the third boss node, and that's given that my lane mate can come from behind if it fails.
All right, so yeah, well, let me know in the comments if this is just me or if it's something else that's going on with these raids. But let's move on to something a little more positive. We got some positivity in the stores. Yeah, this is great. We have the Blitz stores. This is great. I agree, because there's not a lot to spend in the Blitz store right now. Now, this is very overpriced, but at least it's something that I can spend my Blitz credits on. We're going on over almost 1 million there, so that's good. Other thing, we got some raid store updates. We got some more teal gear in there. We got the cost reduced for all the other pieces of gear. I think this was a good update. Could have they went further? Yes. But what do you think of this update here, the raid store and the Blitz store in particular? Okay, 2 things. US Agent right there, over in the top left, right? That's new. Yes, that's another good thing as well. US Agent got added to the store. Yeah, and then you're sitting on 1.9 million. I'm sitting at over 2 million, 2.5 million, and there are absolutely catalysts. There's a pretty steep catalyst crunch when it comes to teal. When you're getting Apocalypse, it typically appears in Mutant, and then when you're done with Apocalypse and you start focusing on Dark Dimension 6,
it pivots to Mystic, and there's just a massive, not only like focus catalyst and health catalyst, but also Mystic origin pieces. So this is huge. This is a big deal for me. Like I absolutely it is expensive. I mean, if you're sitting at 100,000 or 200,000 raid credits, maybe that's not the best use of those resources. Spending 14,000, whatever it is, 12,000 for some teal pieces. But everybody's a little different.
But yeah, but for longer time players, this is great because
this is great.
I don't know what to do with this stuff. I mean, I've opened a bunch of orbs for US Agent, and we got him to 7 stars like right away last night. So and I still have almost 2 million. So yeah, this is good that they did this. And the other thing that they did announce, which is a positive thing, in this message with all these compensation for the raid keys and the Crucible credits, Captain Carter going to the Crucible store. We have a date for that, August 24th. So more Rebirth members being added to farmability. The last one we need is Agent Venom, but yeah, I'm glad that they added that. Now, the other thing that ended this week, I don't know if it was a positive or a negative. I think a lot of people felt this was a negative experience, especially based on these ranking rewards that I don't think a lot of these tiers got paid out. I don't think 1 to 3 got paid out. I don't think, did 4 to 6 get paid out? Did it go right to 7 to 9?
Right. Well, this is a problem not only in the Scourge leaderboards, but also in the Alliance milestones every 2 weeks, where the ranks. Right here you can see 1 to 50. Then down at the bottom you have 751. The 1,000, the 2,000. Where 2,000th place, where if you place 1,900, you're in the 10th percentile. So that means nothing is getting paid out in 1 to 2 to 3% to 4 to 6%, which It's not a disadvantage to the person that actually plays in the 10th percentile. It's just that it just feels bad that nobody is getting anything in those, maybe on those top percentages at all, because the 1,500 is the 7th percentile, let's say.
Yeah, I mean, what the worst place is ranked 2001, because you do that, you're like, all right,
you're gonna be the 15th percent, or something, wherever it is,
all the way down here, and instead of like, all right, I'll get the next tier.
No,
I was just outside of this. I'm only gonna lose 30 shards. No, you're not losing 30 shards. You're down here. You're losing about 100 shards or so with this. So I don't know. It seems like less players are qualifying for this. What is the solution for this? Is it to remove the qualifications from the leaderboard? Is it to make this event easier to allow more players to enter? What is the solution for all these wacky leaderboards that we're getting, especially one of these percent-based ones that we're not getting a lot of these early percentages paid out?
Well, I mean, how hard would it to be eliminate percentage altogether and just say, 2001 through 10,000 gets this, and 10,001 through 50,000 gets this, and just eliminate the percentages altogether?
I like that. That should be. They should have used that solution. That's such a simple solution. That's probably why they haven't done it. It's not endlessly complicated, which is why it's still there. But yeah, I think that I like that solution. Let me know if there's any other solutions that you come up with. That's such a simple solution, and it seems like a very good one as well. All right, Photon has arrived in the game. As you can see, she is still only level 50. I've not put much work into her. Very, very low. I don't think she has a lot of value in Arena right now, but have you used her in War? Have you seen her in War? Does she have any value right now in Marvel Strike Force?
Absolutely. I'm going to say that Photon with A-Force is a top 3, top 4 offense Alliance War team. If they're built up enough, they can take out Vanilla Gamma. They're good. Yeah,
with a punch up.
A modest punch up, not huge.
Okay.
Like we're talking about you have to upgrade. The problem with Gamma is that they're built. Everybody has Blue ISO 5 and 7 stars across the board, right? Level 95 because they took them
for Apocalypse, right?
Yeah. So the number of players that are going to have a big enough A-Force plus Photon to take out a Gamma is low, but it's a small punch up. Like I think I saw a 200,000 punch up
on A-Force versus Gamma.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what other teams are they able to beat? Because I know the old A-Force with Dr. Doom was able to be the Young Avengers. I mean, and you're saying they're top 3. So what are some of their top ones? Darkhold.
Right. So there's some trick.
Infestation. Nowhere.
Yeah. There's some tricky teams out there, right? And the tricky teams right now in Alliance War are going to be APOC, Gamma, Nowhere, and Infestation. And, outside of that, largely Photon A-Force doesn't struggle.
Okay, nice. That's good. So,
there's always exceptions and caveats in new, power levels, but it's a good team. It's a really good team.
Good. That's good to hear. Because I forgot all about the A-Force and her use on that. I didn't test that out on a test surface. It's good to hear that she's actually working properly, and seems like a benefit to have her on the team instead of Doom. So good stuff there. But let's talk about her release event, this Asgard 2004, this Blitz-based event with a lot of issues. Now, how are you liking this Blitz event right after, seems like right after we had a Beta Ray Blitz event as well? Is this too much blitzing for like a 2-week period?
I don't have a specific opinion on this event. I have a specific opinion about Blitz events in general. I don't know if you want that, but nothing's changed. It's a Blitz event, right?
So the rewards actually seem pretty good. You do have to grind for them, but you got like these mini uniques here, augmented molecular cloth. You got some more of these here. You got some pretty good ones if you're willing to do the grinding. Now, are you willing to do the grinding, Mobile Gamer? Are you going to do your 8 rotations a day? Are you going to do 4 rotations a day just to get event stuff for the TVA event, or are you going to do more? What are your plans for this one?
I don't know how to verbalize this well, because what I'm going to say is very rich. When I started playing another Marvel game and I actually had fun playing the game, the idea of Blitz is set in that I will never blitz. I hate it. So that puts me at an extreme disadvantage, but I do not enjoy pushing buttons, and it feels meaningless. There's no thinking required. It's tedious, and I can't do it. I absolutely can't do it. So it has nothing to do with this event or the rewards or Blitz, but if you're going to play a game, why do we play games? We play games, and there's lots of different reasons, but fun is one of them, right? And there's nothing fun about Blitz.
I agree. There's fun in getting the rewards, though. I do enjoy that when I collect that, but I don't enjoy the actual process of blitzing. The other thing that we have going on with this Blitz right now is this weird milestone on the web, this timeline supremacy. This is taking a lot of grinding for this, and the good thing, there's no actual shards for Photon. So if you're not getting all these Blitz charges, you're not missing out on too much, but you are getting a lot of these temp ads, which is associated for the month-long milestone event. Now, initially, and it wasn't released in the blog post, I went back and looked at it, but the initial report that we got was this would be based on spending your Blitz credits, not on earning Blitz credits. If we look at it right now, it's all about earning Blitz credits. And if we go in the game and look at our in-game mail, we see remnants of that as well. If we look at the messages from last night, if we show these red messages talking about Asgard 2004, we scroll all the way down here, it still has a remnants from the old blog post. It says use Blitz credits to earn progress in the web milestone, catalyst parts, teal gear, orbs, Elite 4 credits. I don't see any Elite 4 credits here. Where was the testing on this one, Mobile?
I don't know, man. It feels like there's a lot of gaps there in the messaging and what's happening. So at a minimum, they should issue out compensation to the rewards that they said were going to come in the in-game mail.
Yeah. Now, the other thing that they talked about as far as what we're getting as far as compensation was when they sent out this message about the auto raid feature being disabled. Now, they changed the calendar for this a little bit. That there'll be 2 godly power orbs and some Blitz cooldown currency. When do you think we're going to be getting those? Because I thought when they sent out this message, we would get a inbox message last night. That didn't happen. The people from the future that see what we're getting tomorrow still don't have this either. So when will we be getting this? Is it sometime during the weekend? Is it tomorrow? Is it
it's Thursday now? Event? So if it doesn't come today or tomorrow, it won't be till Tuesday, right?
Now, one of the rewards in this blitzing event is this reset charge. And one of the people, one of the things that people were talking about during the last event that we had, this Voromir 2030, is with these milestones, it took a lot of power core spending. I was spending my 200 core refreshes because I didn't realize how much it is. I spent a lot of cores and used a lot of energy unnecessarily for this. I wanted to get this second reset charged. I know a lot of people didn't, though. Not a lot of people don't want to spend those many cores for stupid energy refreshes. Do you think that this is something they forgot about? Did they not do the calculations on this? Was it supposed to be 2,000 points instead of 1,500 points for every orb that we open? And do you think that we're going to need this reset charge at the end of the month for this Sylvie TV event? Do you think that we're going to be missing that if we don't get this, if people didn't get that reset charge in Vormir?
I got two things I'll say about that. Like, because I know a lot of people, min-max these events, and in the past, the month-long events have been, achievable, right? With moderate engagement. And it feels like they're moving away from that. Now, there has been some situations in the last month where they just didn't do the math correctly or not. I got to tell you something, though, and this is just my take. Like, for me, this game is about gameplay. I enjoy playing Crucible. I enjoy Alliance War. I like playing in the arena. The min-maxing events for me largely is just not doing it anymore. Like we're talking about blitzing and smashing buttons, and it feels like with these events they're really pushing the FOMO and trying to get people to complete everything, whether that's spending money or min-maxing their resources. And largely, they've done some things to change the way that events work, and I don't think that they've been favorable to the community. So one of the things that really bothered me about the events is that, there was a significant advantage to hoarding. And actually, in some way, people that were hyper engaged, watching YouTube videos, active on Reddit and Discord and Twitch, they had an advantage because they could hoard, right? Yeah. Well, and I don't think that was a fun mechanic, the mail bug, where you claim all and you destroy everything in the hoarding and inbox meta.
I had so much fear opening mail every time.
And so, so here's the thing. It's two separate issues. I like getting rewards, and I feel like I should have reasonable access to rewards. And I thought the hoarding mechanic itself was not fun. So if they eliminate the hoarding mechanic, are we still getting reasonable access to rewards? No. They've basically made, basically what they've done is they've stripped away any advantage to anybody that was hoarding, and now the events are terrible for everybody.
Yeah, I'm still in that chase, man. I like that dopamine hit of getting all these rewards, so I'm still after that chase and going to try to min-max these as much as possible within reason. I'm not going to spend thousands of dollars to max these events, but I could grind some of these, like with his Blitz, and I'm going to try my best.
And listen, here's the thing too, like the Blitz event, let's say, I feel like there should be a way of min-maxing events, and for someone that is willing to put in the time and grind and understand the event to get an advantage over somebody else, should be a thing, right? Specifically even like the Blitz, if you're willing to put in time, free to play need to get any kind of advantage they could possibly get, right?
Yeah.
And I kind of feel like, even though I hated the hoarding meta, the inbox meta, I don't feel like the net result has been good for the overall. Now they basically just stripped, any advantage away and made it terrible for everybody, and I don't think that's good.
Yeah, that's actually a good question. Let me ask the community. Do you guys like these events now that there's no hoarding? We don't have to worry about hoarding, or did you like them better in the past when we could try to min-max some of these? We could select which ones we wanted to, and we could hoard. Let me know your thoughts on that. All right, the other thing that we got this week is voting for a new character coming to Marvel Strike Force, obviously with the symbiotes. Now, one thing that they did share, what character you choose would not affect the tags of the character because they're going to be bio no matter what. The characters that we can choose is a Silver Surfer symbiote, a Groot symbiote, Thanos symbiote, Kestrel symbiote. Did you vote on any of these yet?
Yeah, I voted for Thanos. So I was of the mindset that I wanted to vote for what I thought would be the coolest. I was not looking for tags or mechanics or anything like that. And I'm just a huge Thanos fan, and so that was the only logic for me doing that.
This is a nice looking costume. This is a nice looking, not a costume, but a nice looking character. I went with the Kestrel one, and the reason I did Kestrel was because this had like the animations of one of the things. So I was like, oh, that's a pretty cool animation. It looks like Scorpion here. He's bringing the character in and then shooting him away. That's why I voted for Kestrel. This Groot one didn't have a lot of detail on it, so I know some people like it. They thought it looked the scariest, but the winner right now is this Silver Surfer one with a new board, with this new spear that he's getting made out of a symbiote. This looks good. What do you think about them having us vote for characters coming to the game?
I think it's a pretty interesting idea. I actually think that they should do more things like this. I'm also curious to see how far away this is, because they've talked about in the past the timetable to create characters. I'm very certain that whatever is selected here is not showing up next packs. I'm curious if it's going to be 3 months, 6 months, 9 months out.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like they even have the character kits designed yet.
No,
it's going to be a while.
Yeah,
what do you think they're going to be needed for? Obviously, probably not the bio section with the Rebirth team, but tech is what we need for the raids. I don't think this is going to be another arena meta, because we just got the new one coming that's not even totally in the game yet with the Secret Defenders. Is this going to be a Crucible or a War team?
Your guess is as good as mine. I have no idea. No idea. It's so far out. I have no idea.
I'm gonna guess Crucible, just to throw it out there, put it in the ether. That's what I'm hoping.
Yeah, I heard that they were gonna put Venom on the team, and the rework for Venom. This is sarcasm, boy. I have to tell everybody what sarcasm, right? Because other people are gonna take me seriously, right?
I didn't know you were being sarcastic. I would have been like, "Oh, Venom, that's cool." All right, what is
going
on?
So this is sarcasm right here. Venom's gonna be on this team,
Woo!
and guess what? We heard how much you like the Scarlet Witch and the Doc Ock reworks. Well, we're going to actually make Venom slower, but to make him so that you have to put him on the team, we're going to give the Symbiote team, which are going to call it the new Symbiotes, because it can't be the old Symbiotes. It's got to be the new Symbiotes. And all Venom is going to do is his passive is going to give 10,000% extra damage, armor, focus, or resistance to the rest of the team. So you just have to put him on the team.
He's like a cable. You have to put him on a team. He's just gonna die, but the rest of the team is just gonna smash hard. that would be so like. That'd be funny if they did that. Like, majority of the community,
ideas.
They would be so pissed. The majority of the community would be so upset about that. But that would be kind of funny if you think about that. Just kind of leading into their own jokes.
Yeah. That way they don't have to rework his kit and test him at all. They just put a passive that boosts the rest of the team, and that's it.
Oh yeah, he's supposed to die, and then I guess they can get bonuses when they die. Maybe that's what the trick is here. Maybe they're releasing all 4 of these with the Venom rework, and everybody's gonna get their selection, and everybody's gonna be happy, no matter who you voted for.
Right.
All right.
I've also been kidding that they're not, that no matter what you pick here out of these 4. It's going to be the same kit no matter what. Like, it doesn't matter which one. And they're just going to splice a Groot head on the top and a Kestrel head on the top.
It might be.
And the body's going to look the same.
This cool Kestrel animation that I want.
No, it doesn't matter. It's just going to be what the head is.
That could be exactly what's happening with the Symbiotes, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments as we talk about some new Datamines. These Datamines, of course, courtesy of MSF.tools. And the first one that I want to discuss is Alliance event. This looks to be called Rome 1390. And if we look at the date for that on the blog post, 1390 is going to be August 23rd. And what you need to save for this looks like a ISO 8, spending ISO 8 campaign energy for a 7-day Alliance milestone. You're getting some rewards here, which may or may not be accurate, judging by the in-game message that was just sent in the game. Any thoughts on this? I mean, we've had a lot of these in the past. I know some of my Alliance mates are not even spending any ISO 8 energy when there's no event, and they're just saving everything that they have. Not just the refreshes, but not spending anything at all. What are you doing to prepare for these, or are you just spending it like normal?
Yeah, well, it's just whatever the Alliance is going to do, and whatever we need to do to make sure everybody gets equitable returns and everybody's putting in their fair share. And I noticed that they changed the name of this. They're not calling it. What was it called in the past? They used to call these
coordinated assault.
Yeah, basically they wanted to get rid of the name so people will say, "Well, you changed coordinated assault." Well, it's not a coordinated assault, right?
Well, they did the last time, right? The last time it still had the name Coordinated Assault. It was a totally different event. It was like, what is going on with this? Why is this changed? So they're learning from their mistakes.
Yeah, they're just going to change the name of the event so that nobody can compare it to the old events.
Hey, I'm fine if they do that. All right, the next one. This one's a little more interesting. Barichara, I think I'm pronouncing that right, 1808. And this is an event to prepare for the Black Cat trial. So this kind of gives us insight in when we could have Black Cat in. Because if we look at this information here from the blog post, August 16th is when this event is going live. So this is going to be a 7-day event. So it looks like sometime after the 16th, 7 days after that is we're going to get the Black Cat event. For this one, you're going to need to spend more power cores, another power core spending event, ladies and gentlemen, and opening dark alley orbs. And that's going to be earned from campaign nodes or just limited time offers. This sounds like an event that we've had in the past. Sounds like something that we had last week. So I guess we're going to be able to get more shards. I'm guessing nowhere characters are going to be in here because that's the unlock for Black Cat.
Right. Sinister Six, right? No, hey,
Sinister. I forgot about
Six.
that. Yeah.
Oof, yeah.
We're
Okay.
getting like Green Goblin
I
shards.
promise you it's going to be mostly Sinister Six shards. I'm just saying. But anyways.
All right. So that is what prepare. Are you going to do anything to prepare for this? Or you're just going to just screw it? I'm going to go play the game as it is.
Something that I'm worried about, and it's not necessarily related to preparing for the event, is that the initial release of the Nova Scourge was not tested, and there was no access to it either. And the biopacks didn't work correctly, and I had my Squirrel Girl and my Red Hulk going 9 turns in a row. Basically, the only way to finish the nodes, and it was
I liked it with the bugs though. It was kind of fun with the bugs.
Well, not only that, but it was clearly balanced around the bugged packs or scourges, right? And so
the ones that they took out this past
yeah,
event.
and then they didn't rebalance. Like in the that 1.9 million
champions leaderboard that nobody could reach the end of.
Yeah, nobody could reach the end because it was tuned around the bugged packs. And so, if you're watching and your job is to make sure the Black Cat Scourges work, I'm praying, I hope that you play it once and see that it's, because if it's obvious with one attempt that something is wrong, then what's really going on over there? I mean, my mind is blown with the Nova trials and the Cosmic Crucible rooms.
Right.
It's unbelievable.
Let me get your predictions, Valley Club. Is this Black Cat event going to be bugged? Is it going to be even tested? That is probably the better question. Is it going to even have any testing, Valley Club? Let me know your thoughts.
Let Dorky Dad test it. Oh my God. Better than nobody testing it. My God.
Yeah, put it on a test server. Let Dorky Dad have his way with it. He can make content on it, give us all the insights on it, and then we can do the event. And any bugs he'll catch. That's what they should do. You should do that. Give it to Dorky Dad. Let him do all that stuff. Thank you guys for watching.
Give it to somebody.
Give it to somebody. Anybody that can test it. Even anybody that's voice movement. Anybody
that wants to do it that's under an NDA should be able to try to help if they're willing, right?
Yes. All right, that is it, guys. If you haven't already subscribed, hit that subscribe button. And if you want to see what are the best characters that you should be building right now, which characters you should be farming, make sure you can just check out the video there from yesterday. That is it. Hulk Fist Bump, ValleyFlyin, MobileGamer.
Let's go smash it.
Let's smash it, ladies and gentlemen.